Hi, everybody. This is Cynthia Kane.
And Megan Mahoney.
And we are going to be your co-instructors for UL100ZB Research Skills, Information, and Technology. In this welcome video, we're going just to go ahead and take you through some different things on getting comfortable with the course before we start in with our first module, which will begin when the course starts on Monday, March 18th. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to share our screen. And we're going to walk you through the first part of our course on Canvas. You do want to make sure, first of all, that you're able to go ahead and log into Canvas and see everything in the course as we release it in different modules throughout the next 8 weeks. One thing that Megan and I want to emphasize, first of all, is that this course is indeed for 3 credit hours, and yes, it is for 8 weeks during the second block of the semester. That basically means that things are going to move very, very quickly through the course of this semester. But at the same time, Megan and I are very dedicated to give you the timely feedback that you're going to need to know how you're doing in the course and how you're progressing. So the first thing we want to do is show you the syllabus for UL100ZB. We'll click on this, and you'll be able to download this as a PDF, but we can also preview it here on the screen. As we indicated, this is a 3 credit hour course. It's totally online. We have included our contact information. Please feel free at any point to contact either of us if you have any questions whatsoever or any concerns about how the course is doing, if you have questions on different assignments, different activities, anything like that. Megan and I will also be keeping online office hours this semester. My office hours will be Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and Fridays 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Megan will be keeping online office hours Fridays from 10 a.m. to noon and also by appointment. Now, if any of you are actually here in Emporia or local and taking our class online, we actually very much welcome you if you'd like to stop by the library and say hello to us as well. But we will also be online during these office hours to answer any questions that you have.
And we recognize that some of you may need to talk to us in the evening due to your day schedule, so don't hesitate to make an appointment with us for an evening time as well.
Yes, and we're very happy to do that. So as you probably already know, UL100 is actually part of the general education requirement at Emporia State University for information literacy and technology. So we're really glad that you're taking this one to fulfill your general education requirement. We have defined the expectations of our course. We already mentioned it does meet online for 8 weeks as a 3 credit hour course. We've also included the definition of a credit hour, and one reason that we've done that is that there is going to be a significant amount of, I hesitate to say work, but there are expectations for this course. Because of that, we want you to be prepared for the fact, again, that things are going to move very fast. It may seem as if you have deadlines that are coming up rather quickly. Again, we're happy to work with you on that, but kind of be prepared accordingly, particularly since this is taking place during the second block of the semester. And if you notice, we say, please be prepared accordingly to keep up each week with the assigned modules, engagement credits, and learning assessments. We're going to come back in just a second, and we will define more specifically what we're talking about in terms of engagement credits and learning assessments. We have a variety of outcomes that we will be covering in UL100. It seems like there's a lot, but essentially what we want to make sure is that by the time you finish this course, you will be far more comfortable in terms of finding information, accessing it, utilizing it, and also repackaging it in different ways in an increasingly technological environment. And we also cover 2 general education outcomes for UL100 for your core skills and also learning how to think critically and analytically about an issue, an idea, or a problem. We do have a required textbook for UL100. We've actually sent you information in advance to most of you on what this textbook should be. There's a link to this online textbook on our welcome screen as well. This is a free textbook. It's called Open Access because it's freely available. You don't have to pay for it. And it is called the Information Literacy User's Guide. As soon as you can, please go to this link and please download that as a PDF. You can download that to Google Drive, to your own computer, to a flash drive, whatever is most comfortable for you. We will be using this textbook, and we also will have additional readings that are posted on Canvas that will supplement our modules. But we will be reading different chapters from our books. Now, this is an online course, and because of that, we're not actually looking at in-class attendance, but we do expect you to participate and complete assigned modules by the due dates for engagement credits and learning assessments. You notice that we've highlighted, and we've already mentioned this. Please be sure that you're planning your weeks accordingly so that you do have sufficient time to ask us questions and complete your work to the best of your ability.
Now, we'll go over specifications grading, the grading system, and the grading policy in a separate video. So look at the Canvas course page for that. I will be walking you through this grading system, which is probably different than what you're used to, but will hopefully be less stressful for you.
And as Megan indicated, we'll be going over that in the second video, but we do have information here on what our grading policy is going to be in terms of complete and incomplete. And this is going to give you some flexibility here, depending on what's going on with the rest of your semester, on what you choose to complete in order to earn a specific letter grade. We do recognize that the late work, with the late work policy, that an 8-week course moves very, very quickly. And because of that, we do give you a 2-day grace period whenever you do need to turn in an engagement activity or a learning assessment. But if you find that you absolutely cannot turn in your work by the end of that grace period of 2 days, please contact us to make alternative arrangements. We can be flexible. If we know about some things that are coming up beforehand, family emergencies, time crunches, it's much more challenging for us to be flexible if we don't know what's going on and then after the fact we find that you're struggling maybe with completing an assignment. So please keep in touch with us and we can work with you accordingly. Finally, we have a statement in our syllabus about academic dishonesty, plagiarism. Student accommodations. For an online course, if you find that you are actually finding a little bit of a challenge in terms of accessibility of the course, please let us know and we'll be happy to make arrangements accordingly. And finally, our statement on diversity, equity, and inclusion to make sure that you feel like this is a safe space online, and if there's anything that concerns you, who to contact for that type of information as well. So I'm going to go back over here and navigate to home. Now we mentioned that UL100 is going to be in a series of modules with specific due dates. We have given you another PDF to preview that outlines a little bit more in terms of our course schedule. Most of our work will be due on Fridays. There are some assignments that may be due on different due dates. We'll be emphasizing this in videos along with the modules, but we do encourage you, look ahead, plan your work accordingly. We use something called rubrics, which may be familiar to you from previous classes. Basically, with ours, our rubrics will spell out what the expectations are for the different engagement activities and learning assessments in particular, so that you know what we are looking for in terms of grading. And again, hopefully there will not be any surprises. So you can see that we've outlined our course according to our different weeks, starting with week 1, and then ending with week 8, which will end as of May 10th. We'll navigate back over here. We mentioned that we do have online office hours. This is my link for online office hours through Zoom. And you may be familiar with this. If you've ever used Skype, Zoom works very similar to that. It basically enables us to chat face-to-face via video. We can share our screens back and forth and basically just be able to solve any problems within a fairly quick amount of time. We will both be using Zoom for our online office hours, and Megan will be adding her link then later on for her Zoom room for her online office hours as well.
All right, so We have a little guide here for how to deal with technical issues because this is an online course and we rely heavily on technology. You should expect to encounter problems at some point because that is the nature of technology. So make sure you're always backing up your work, that if you have particular troubles with Canvas, you check the Canvas guides to try and answer your questions. Other software that you might be using, you know, sometimes we use things that may not play well with an Apple product or things like that. We'll help you as best we can, but we are not experts in these types of software, so we may need to refer you to the IT help desk. Just, you know, be prepared and make sure you try some troubleshooting things on your own before you contact us with issues, because we're going to ask you what you did so that we don't recreate your work. So if we go back over here to our home module, we have some discussion boards. So if you have general questions about the course or about work or information, please post them in the discussion room rather than email us. This way everyone can benefit from your question, because chances are if you're asking, someone else is going to wonder the same thing and they may not ask us. So don't feel shy about posting in this discussion board. There's another one. You might find information in the news or other readings from other courses that connect with the things we're discussing in class here, and we encourage you to share that with your classmates so that we can develop a true learning community within our course. Finally, we have the link to our course textbook, and then discussion board responses will be graded separately from discussions. So if you want to look at the grading policy for that, you can click in here. Discussion board responses are not required for any discussion board, but we encourage you to do them, and you will earn credit for responding to discussions.
And as we indicated, we will now have another video uploaded that you'll be able to watch that will explain the specifications grading of our course more specifically, so that you have a better sense of how that's going to work for you. And we do hope, again, that that's going to give you a little bit more flexibility, particularly with an online course. We are both really excited. We're really happy about teaching this course, and we are really looking forward to interacting with you. It should be a very good experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.